So I don't think people fully understand, like I said, especially like we come from New York, and but you actually told me that there's a lot of mobile homes in New York, but like the New York City area, metropolitan area, and you know, a lot of listeners that may be from like cities, they don't fully understand how big of an industry mobile parks homes are. So I did some research. So it's 22 million Americans live in mobile homes, and so like how lucrative is it, like on the ROI standpoint? How lucrative is the mobile home industry?
Man, well, listen, it's the highest cash on cash return of any real estate investing. Like, I didn't believe it at first until, I'm gonna give you an example. Our average returns are 250% ROI on per deal that we do.
How long does
Our normal turnaround is 60 days. Now we're to the point that we flip a house, we flip it in less than 15 days.
Wow.
Okay. So, all right. So, since you said that, can you break down the deal and like kind of explain like how does that work?
Cool. So I'm gonna break down with a deal. So we had a deal. We purchased a home for $3,000, right, in Indiana, and the home that it didn't need any work from an older lady. No, in most of the situations, right, most people don't really know the value of their homes, and $3,000 said cool. So what we did was we said, you know what, we're gonna open up for seller finance. We're gonna help somebody get affordable housing. In that area, the average rent, we normally base it off the average rent, it was $800, right? So we say, okay, we're going to be comparable. Now, in a park, if you're doing mobile home investing in a park, the park has lot rents, just like HOA fees. Okay, so you have to pay monthly those. This park was at $372.
So, all right, a lot fee. What's the lot fee?
So it's like an HOA fees. They're paying for the trash. They're paying for the
like
water.
just to stay on the actual.
Exactly.
So the park owns the land.
The land, yeah.
And
So
you own the actual.
You can't just park your mobile home anywhere.
No.
It has to be inside of a license, like a park that has a permit and it's owned. It's like a okay.
Right. And so normally like the ones that you drive, like the RVs, those are different, right? You can go drive those and go into a park and pay like a fee. But normally the ones that you see are kind of just like on actual like land, like those right there. Yeah, you can move those, but it's not costly. Normally about $2,000 or so to move them, depending on how many miles.
Okay.
But in this case, so we said, hey, you know, we'll take $428 monthly. Okay. So it was $800. So how it did, we put them on a 60-month term because remember, it's a mobile home is pretty much a motor vehicle in most states. It is not actually real estate; it's real property unless you're putting on land. So this particular deal, we're getting $800 a month. We're getting cash flowing $428. We put them on a 60-month term. At the end of that 60-month term, that $3,000 we turned to $25,000. It was $25,620. So that's 700% return on investment we created.
So the rent that you guys were collecting was $400 a month,
$428.
Yeah.
And how much did you buy it for?
$3,000.
How do you buy something for $3,000 and charge? How much were they were paying $800 a month in rent?
Yes, because
How is that possible?
so with that, we so instead of them renting an apartment, right? Because if they rent an apartment for $800, they got no equity in it. So what we're providing is just equity in that house, right? The thing is, we buy it for so low, right? We don't necessarily have to say, okay, we're going to only sell it for $5,000, right? We still operate because if you think about the number, it's still a house, it's still a home for them. So at the end of the day, a $25,000 house, where you still going to get a move-in ready $25,000 house.
So that's crazy. But I was just like, why would somebody not just buy it on their own? If they why would you rent for $800 if it only costs $3,000 to buy?
Yeah. So the thing is, for us being investors, it's almost like we buying off market property, right? The most people don't really know that. Hey, I can go get that, and if they do, they definitely take advantage, right? For example, we have a house Sharnice just sold this week. We got the house for $1,500. We sold it to him for $6,000. He's gonna move the home, right? We still doing a favor, but then at the same time, when we offer seller finance, we just offer. I usually do anywhere from like $18. I look at it $18 to $25 per square foot.
So you could actually, with your financing, you could have no money and get a home?
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I can, right? So like I go in, I have no money. I'm like, yo, I want to get this home. That's where you come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm offering because see, the thing is, most banks don't lend to mobile homes. Like Warren Buffett, he has 2 lending companies because he understands it. Warren Buffett is in this game. He owns Clayton Homes.
Okay. Warren Buffett lends mobile homes?
Yeah, so he owns Clayton Homes. That was an acquisition he bought in 1997. Clayton Homes is the largest manufactured home company in the country.
So banks don't give the loans because are they looking at it as an automobile loan? Like how are they looking at it?
They looking at it as a depreciating asset.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, we look at it as value.
So it's an appreciating asset because it has wheels, and anything that with wheels depreciates, correct?
Right. Yep.
So is that true?
Not nice. At the end of the day, for us, we look at it, we solve an affordable housing crisis, right? Like that's the biggest thing. Like cities, we know what the cost of living is going up. All right, wages are still staying the same, so people are getting pushed out. Like we see it every day. Like where it's gentrification, people can't afford. So for us, it's like, hey, listen, I get it. You've been living in this apartment for the last 5 to 6 years. Why don't you get your own asset, right? Because at the end of this, you can do the same thing. Most people that we educate that buy houses from us, we even teach them like, hey, this is how you sell your home to get your money back or make more on your home.
So where are these mobile parks located? In proximity to major cities, right? So we live in the New York tri-state. How many miles typically would a mobile park be located, right?
Yeah, good question. So for you guys, I know you guys got one in Staten Island.
Yeah, I think I told you that. Like, I've been in New York. We've been in New York our whole lives. Like, I don't think I've ever been to Staten Island.
Like, shout out to Wu-Tang.
And then we got a few students out in New York, and they normally work with parks in Jersey. Okay. So they go over to Jersey.
Yeah, and about, honestly, I would say about 60 miles. If you're willing to go upstate New York. I'm not sure the exact mileage, but I know you guys have a lot central and upstate New York.
Is there like a mandated distance, like that the federal government will say, like this is the furthest distance you can go before you create a park?
So here's the thing: in modern days, so mobile home parks, the reason why you don't see a lot of them popping up right now, because here's the reality: taxes, right? In America, it costs on average is like $12,000 to send a kid to school. I'm gonna give you guys an example. I'm about to blow y'all mind real quick. Our taxes on our mobile homes per year, $160. Our taxes on our mobile homes in Indiana, $37.
For the year?
For the year. So you got to think about it. If you have a kid living, if you got children, you got 2 children, and it costs at least $11,000, $10,000 to send them to school, that city is not eating from that. So cities really don't like mobile home parks because of the taxes wise. And most mobile home parks, they're using the city water, they're using the city sewer. So, and in that case, it's like, we not eating off that. We don't really like this over here.
So I pay more in lunch money than that.
All right. Here's a question. You live in a mobile home, right? What is plumbing? How does that work?
So everything is above ground. Everything is above ground. So the cool thing is like, if you need something fixed, they can go under the actual mobile home to repair.
So, but like your actual, like you go to the bathroom, it goes underneath like where does that go?
Is it like a septic tank down there?
Yeah, so normally most parks, so here's the thing, most parks either they're hooked up to city sewer, so they'll have the hookup so it can go, along with the city, or they have septic tanks.
Got it.
Okay. So like if it comes from your truck or your mobile home into like a underground thing.
Yeah.
My graduates from my school being Forbes, bag drop.
Bag drop.
A mic drop, bag drop.
Bag drop.